let's talk about division with fractions. So in 5th grade, there are 2 different types of fraction division problems that kids have to solve. They have to be able to solve a whole number divided by a unit fraction and a unit fraction divided by a whole number. So we're going to do 2 of those problems together. So let's start with a whole number divided by a unit fraction. So let's say you're preparing for a party and you're going to pick up pizzas for that party, and you've decided to buy 6 pizzas, and each pizza is already sliced for you. Each slice is 1/8 of that pizza. And the question may ask you, if you have 6 pizzas that are each sliced into 1/8 size pieces, how many people can you serve? So I would have kids come up, and everybody, I need 6 people to get a pizza, a piece of paper that represents a pizza. So I would have 6 kids, each have a piece of paper, and I would ask them to fold it so that they could show me eighths, since each pizza is sliced into eighths. So we would fold our pizzas into 8 equal parts. And when we do, we would fold it, and then we would each show our pizza unfolded, where we could see that there are 8 parts. This part is 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. Each part is 1/8. And I would say to each student, how many people can your pizza serve? 8 people. The next one, 8 people, 8 people. And we would see that these are 1/8 and 8 people can be served. 8/8 are here. So together we have 48 people that we can serve pizza to. So let's see what that looks like with manipulatives. So here I have built 6 pizzas, and I've used 8 pieces for each one because each pizza is sliced into 1/8 size pieces. So this is 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, etc. But this is also one serving. One person gets one slice. So that's 1/8, 1/8 for each person. And I could say this is 8/8, 8/8, 8/8, 8/8, 8/8, 8/8, or 48 slices. This is a 6 by 8 array that 48 people could be served with 6 pizzas sliced into 1/8. So let's look at the math of that. That would be 6 pizzas, our whole number, divided by 1/8, because each of those pizzas is sliced into 1/8 size pieces. Now I would talk to my kids about what relationship did you see when we solved this between 6 and 8, and they would be able to tell me from what we did that the answer is 48. And we could talk about how solving this is like multiplying times the reciprocal. Each pizza had 8 pieces in it, so that was 6 times 8, or 6 divided by 1/8 is equal to 6 times 8, which is 48. Now the other type of problem that kids see is a unit fraction. Remember, that just means the fraction has a numerator of 1 divided by a whole number. So let's say I've gone to a party, and when I left my house for that party, I took a whole cake with me. But at the end of the party, all I brought home was 1/4 of the cake that was left over. So I would give everybody get a piece of paper, fold it so that we have 4 equal parts. And then I would ask them to shade the part that's left over. So I'm going to change my camera so I can show you what we would do with this paper. Let's move the pizzas out of the way. And I would have kids shade the part of the cake that's left. This is clearly a blueberry cake, and I had 1/4 of it left over. And it will probably help them if they go ahead and draw in these lines so they can see. I have 1/4 of the cake left. Have them label it so they know what they're talking about. Now I have 1/4 of the cake left, but at my house there are 3 people who live there. Me, Mark, my husband, and Marissa, our daughter. And so we decided that the 3 of us are going to share this 1/4 of a cake that's left over. So I would have kids fold this back up. Here's my 1/4. That's the part that's left. I would have them fold it so that we can share that. 3 people can share it. Me and 2 other people are sharing this cake. Now, I want them to label this. What part do you get? What part do I get? Etc. So here are my parts. Terry gets this part. Mark gets this part. Marissa gets this part. If you stop here, kids are going to tell you that you each get 1/3 of this cake. But the problem is, they can't possibly get 1/3 of the cake when we only had 1/4 left over. So we have to have kids open the whole cake back up and continue these lines that you folded. And you can see I get 1/12, Mark gets 1/12, Marissa gets 1/12, and I would make them label each of these parts. 1/12, 1/12, 1/12, labeling all of them so they can see there are 12 pieces. Everybody gets 1/12 of the cake. Now I want to show you what that looks like on grid paper, because we see this sometimes as an array that's similar to the decimal models that we built. So let's move this and let's get some grid paper. So here's the cake that we had. Remember, I brought home 1/4 of this cake, and I would have them label this. 1/4 of cake left. Now, remember, we're sharing this cake between 3 people. So here are the 3 people that are going to share it. Person 1, person 2, person 3. If I continue these lines, they can see that I get 1/12, Mark gets 1/12, Marissa gets 1/12. Each part is 1/12 of the whole. So let's look at the math for that. I had 1/4 of a cake left over, and I shared it equally with 3 people. Now, we've already talked about this has a denominator of 1. If we make the connection to what we did here when we solved it, we can also ask kids, what relationship do you see between 4 and 3 that relates to the problem that we just solved? The problem that we just solved, we know we each get 1/12. So if we make this connection, we know this is 1/12, and it's multiplying by the reciprocal. This would be, I got 1/4 of a cake, each of us got 1/3 of it, each part was 1/12.